Hello, my beautiful people, to my subscribers, to my viewers, and to everybody watching me around the globe. Me mo bi bra kwa ba shonko ye pa esa beyo de no TV subio. This time around, they always know when you hear me say penu say nsema ekoso ewe my Ghana ma say and I made bro. Na sisi ano information bi aba betomina so na onim say sisi ano information a ebetimi a trend ye pa is about politicians because 7th of December 2024 it's all about election yeah babeto election and because ewe my Ghana ma say enomu and Mr. President, His Excellency Nana Dr. Kufuor, Edina Memu Ebabego. Intinum, it seems every party making sure say on by all possible best. Now on what me ababefa a presidential seat. It's as a sakunyano utu enyasiswa na we dia no. Akwakwa yense bebre. Yense oni okoti masisia. Medas.
Into the auditorium na fekwa. Hwe na nanomo abo omo smoke. Emu na omu afọ omu traditional regalia na omu ediasa fly all the way from Tamale, from Boko, from Bolega, from Sola, from Bongo, from Walewale, from Nandom, from Sandema, from Bimbila, from Pusiga, from Bole Bamboy, all the way to the UPSA campus in Accra to catch a glimpse of the new hope for this country in terms of how to move this country forward. Yeah, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia Eddie Ebregana for a wonderful spectacle to behold, a wonderful scene. Yeah, in Chirima Eddie Ebetoho Eddie Akai and Sem, as we all await the start of the momentous lecture. Yeah, His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia Eddie Ebregana for Tianko the way to UPSA. Now Yanko witness the colorful event of Kwanya. Northern Region Chiefs, so they are sending me into the auditorium to await a new hope, a new beginning, a new form of revolution for Ghana's development presented by Dr. Mahmoud. The energy is extremely high, and we are going to ask our camera people to turn the cameras so that you can see the energy that is building here. So there's a lot of drumming and dancing, a lot of activities here. So in your shot right now, you are seeing some chiefs and elders from the northern part of our country who are excited about today's activity. And we are being told that the Vice President will be on his way in no time to the University of Professional Studies, where he will be addressing this gathering and the people of Ghana at large. And so, bringing you this live coverage, it is really exciting, a lot of energy here at the University of Professional Studies, where the Vice President of the Republic, Dr. Asemaba Northern, will be addressing the people of Ghana. For his Highness, whom we have been speaking to, are telling us that the Vice President is going to come up with a lot of interesting things that will excite the people of Ghana. All of us are waiting the presentation of the Vice President and to ascertain exactly what it is that he's going to be saying. So nobody is speaking ahead of him, nobody is saying anything, not the party chairman, not the general secretary.
One person is the Vice President. Every other thing will be done before he arrives. Once he arrives, we take over.
Okay. When are we expecting the Vice President to arrive?
We should be expecting him to be arriving around 4:30, 4:45.
Is there going to be a panel discussion after the Vice President speaks?
What did the Vice President? What did the Vice President do?
Say? No. So once the Vice President speaks, that will be the end of the activity.
Subsequently, the Vice President is going to be available to the various stakeholders, the various groups, the various interest groups to go into the details of some of the policies that he will be outlining.
When you say the Vice President will be available, what do you mean? Is he going to engage in?
Today he's going to engage. After today, he's going to engage with the various stakeholders, the various groups, the various, even in the communities, the media, the AGI, labor unions, and every other stakeholder the Vice President will be engaging to go into the details of each of the single policy that we'll be outlining today.
So to talk about policy, what are the policy thematic areas, not to give us any details, but the policy thematic areas that you consider the Vice President will be addressing?
Be ready to be blown away. There's a Vice President that has been one of the most best performing and the most active Vice President we've seen in the history of this country. There's a Vice President that is unarguably the best Vice President in our fourth republic. He himself, in his own corner as a Vice President, the level of innovation, the level of creativity is introduced into the office of the Vice President, and all he has done, he is going to blow our minds with clear-cut, cogent policies to take this country into the future. Be rest assured that the Vice President is going to take us on a journey of where we have come from, where we are as a people, the challenges he envisages will confront us as a country, and then he will come up with clear solutions to surmount these challenges and take us into the future.
Okay, so I'm here with my colleague Jema. I will let her ask a few questions and then we'll let you go. We know you are very busy. Jema.
You see the number of people here all waiting to hear from the Vice President. What's your message to them as they wait? It's just some few minutes away, then the Vice President will speak to Ghanaians. What would you say to them?
The excitement was expected. The enthusiasm is expected. The people of Ghana, you can see on the ground here, have been waiting for this new leader. This person that is not your regular politician. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is not your regular politician. He is not your thoroughbred politician. This is the first time we are having this kind to lead this country, and that is why you see all the enthusiasm being shown by the people. His credibility, his integrity, his level of decency, his level of unison for the people of this country is without argument. He remains the only politician that till date nobody can wear him with any form of corruption, and that is why the people of Ghana are really yearning. They are yearning to experience this leader that we haven't seen before. And if there is anything at all that draws all these people towards Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, it is that they want to see what is it that this new guy is bringing onto the table. They've experienced every kind of politician in the past, but this time they want to see what this new leader, this new breed of politician, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is bringing onto the table. And that is why you see all of these things. And one thing I can assure all of them, and the millions of people who are watching us and listening to us across Ghana today, that they will not be disappointed. They should trust in Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. They should believe in him. Indeed, we are confronted with a lot of challenges. Indeed, we are bedeviled with a lot of challenges. But these challenges definitely require one leader to take us out of it. These challenges definitely require somebody to drive us out of it. Nana Akufo-Addo has done his part. He has contributed his bit. It is time for a new leader to emerge. And that leader is one that is credible, one that has high integrity, one that is committed to the cause of Ghana. And definitely nobody can doubt that.
How long is the presentation going to last?
There are diverse groups in the room right now. There are market women, there are people from Abosi Okan, there are pure water sellers, there are mechanics in the room, the AGI is there, the labor unions, PUC, NAGAT, they are represented there. You saw traditional authorities go in there. There are youth groups in there. There are student groups in there. There are persons with disability in there. There are women groups in there. Diverse background of people are in the room right now, waiting to hear the next president of Ghana speak.
How long is it going to last, the presentation?
Maximum 1 hour 30 minutes.
Thank you very much.
Professor Kenatefa is the Executive Secretary of the National Identification Authority. He's making his way to the auditorium, so I missed him. I couldn't get him to speak to us. But Professor Kenatefa is, for all intents and purposes, described himself as a very good friend of the Vice President of the Republic. And he has come here to participate in this exercise. So, Jema, a lot more arrivals, a lot more of party big when I engaged him. Several other persons arriving here. I can tell you that the security apparatus is having a tough time making sure that the right people enter into the auditorium. Going forward, I believe that they are going to beef up the security before the Vice President arrives so that there will be calm, particularly at the entrance. All right, so quickly tell us. Quickly tell us, you have come here from civil society perspective, and as an education person, what would you want the Vice President to say about Ghana's education going forward?
Well, we are here to support the Vice President adore his vision. We believe that in that vision, education should find pride of place. I'm expecting to hear announcement from the Vice President that will lead to bridging the gap between the North and the South when it comes to education delivery and education outcomes. We all know that the North is far behind when it comes to education, equitable access, quality, and completion. So I'm expecting pronouncement that will give us hope that moving to the future, we will begin to bridge the gap between the North and the South when it comes to education.
So the North and the South divide is a very important thing. The Vice President himself comes from the North, and so you would expect that he pays a bit attention to his own people. But free SHS has been the mantra and the major policy of the government that the Vice President served in. Now, beyond free SHS, are you expecting the Vice President to say something about how to improve it? And then also, is there going to be any other free level of education moving to the tertiary, for example?
The government has indicated in the current IMF review report that it intends to review and strengthen the effectiveness of the policy. And so it's a continuum, and I expect him to make statements to that effect. Having said that, education is a bigger basket beyond basic and secondary. I expect to hear pronouncements in respect of tertiary as well. We have serious issues related to tertiary education access, especially by the poor. And it will be great to hear pronouncements about how to strengthen the state's bursary support scheme to ensure that poor people are able to access higher education.
So education infrastructure has also been a problem. What would you expect him to say about infrastructure in the education sector?
In actual fact, that's the first thing I want to hear a pronouncement on, because it is the infrastructural gap that is primarily responsible for the gap between education access in the north and then the south of Ghana. Infrastructural gaps are key, and so resolving the north-south divide in education access and quality starts with bridging the infrastructure gap. I want to hear pronouncement to the effect that he will focus on building more junior high schools to make sure that there are about 40% of primary schools in the northern part of Ghana that do not have junior high schools, and also ensuring that every basic school has desks. Desks is a big issue, not only in Ghana, but especially in the 5 northern regions, and then also in OT and the western north. So basically, I'm expecting him not to say so many things different from what you've heard in the past, but to reinforce, some of these pronouncements to give us the hope that the political will to invest in basic education infrastructure is going to be rekindled under his